You're listening to Foulin Out. How you doing? My name's Raymond.
My name is John.
How you doing today, John?
I'm doing just fine. You want to know how well I'm doing? This
How
is what
well
I'm
are you
about to
doing?
do.
Oh, you're gonna crack it open?
Crack it
I got
open.
one too.
Let's do it.
And that is from our good sponsors over at Yingling.
Sponsors to be.
Sponsors to be. They will be one day.
We are announcing here to you, our
It's
listeners.
an open letter.
We are
to Yingling.
going to send a letter to the owner of Yingling, or whoever their lead marketing and sponsor is, or marketing official, to request them that they sponsor us, because we do buy a lot of their products. We love them. We
We're
will
big
continually talk about them. I can talk about them for no end because they're the best beer on earth. Not even getting paid to say that. That's just my belief.
That's my religion, actually. I am a Yingling follower. I believe in the word of Yingling.
I'm a Yinglinger, as they say, up in Pottsville, right?
Oh, of course.
But yes, so to the viewers out here, please send other letters to them. I know you write in zeros and ones out there, a lot of you bots, but hey, we need your support, and we really appreciate it.
This is a big move for the Foulin Out LLC. We would really appreciate it if you guys would help us out in this one. Realize our dream of being sponsored by Yingling.
It would definitely be an amazing dream come true. Really like a Disney World moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Just, a beer like Yingling is once in a blue moon. No pun intended. Fuck Blue Moon. Yingling for life.
Yeah, exactly. There we go. There is no such thing as other beer when it comes to Yingling. It's only Yingling. So, now, what do we have to talk about today?
Well, what we got today, we're talking about college football. Remember last week we picked 3 games? We're going to be talking about those 3 games now. Some more than others. Then we're going to do a little bit about the NFL and our expedition out to Charlotte.
Oh, yes. We did make a little bit down to Charlotte.
Mm-hmm. Then we're going to do everyone's favorite segment, Who Fouled Out.
Uh-huh.
I think you'll be surprised with the answer we have for that one.
I know.
And then we got the 3 big questions, including the pick'em that we're doing. John, put your shirt back on. That is disgusting.
It is so hot
God.
in here.
It's got way less hot when you took your shirt off.
Oh, that's good. I need to fucking cool off here.
All right. Sounds good.
Let's get to it so I can go put this bad boy of a body in the shower.
All right. Starting off, Virginia Tech versus Boston College. We both watched the game as we are Hokies.
We are big Hokie fans.
Yeah.
For all our new listeners out there joining us on season 2.
Mm-hmm. Some of you guys may have come into the season with maybe a bit of hope. Maybe something changed over, the summer. Guys started playing together more. It was clear by the end of the last season that guys just didn't want to play together on that team last year.
They were full of inexperience too, and I just don't think that they grasped the playbook really well. And you also had Ryan Willis take over last year from Josh Jackson, and a lot of people didn't think he was ready, and then a lot of people resented that he took over instead of a guy like Quincy Patterson or Hendon Hooker, who have shown to have a lot more talent than Willis has. We'll be sure to talk about Willis. But this was a season that we were going into. A lot of people were projecting us to go 9-3, 10-2, losing to maybe only Notre Dame and Miami.
We talked about the schedule, I believe, in our last episode or 2 episodes ago, just how really easy it was, and the level of competition really just wasn't there. It was clear that Virginia Tech knew where they would be in terms of competitiveness. Oh God, competitiveness in the ACC, and they scheduled accordingly. Really, sort of going after the bottom of the barrel teams.
Yep.
But it still seems like this is going to be a bit of a struggle for us this season.
Yeah, especially after this game. Does not give me any good feelings going forward, even though we have an easy stretch coming up. We were favored to win this game against Boston College. We were favored 4.5. I don't know how and why we were. I think Vegas got that one wrong. But this is the second straight time Boston College has beaten us. A.J. Dillon, Anthony Brown just went off. Those guys have been around, I think, for 3 years each as starters in Boston College. Dillon had 23 carries for 81 yards and a touchdown. And Anthony Brown also went 15 of 26, 275 yards, and 2 touchdowns with no turnovers on the day. And for the most part, our defense missed so many tackles in the first half that those two were allowed to do pretty much whatever they wanted.
First half was all Boston College. It was pretty much a one-sided show out there, and I was really disappointed. I thought these guys would try and come out and play for Bud a little bit, with it being his last season and all. But man, they did not show up, and it has a lot to do, I think, with that inexperience that you talk about. It still seems like guys aren't doing the fundamental things that you're supposed to do as a defensive back. They don't know how to tackle. They're going high when they should be going low.
They're not turning around for the ball when it's in the air.
Yeah, they're not. The biggest thing you have to do as a secondary is find the ball. I mean, stay with your man, and then the second job is to find the ball. And they're doing better about not letting guys just get open lanes down the field. There were still a couple blown coverages in this game, but that was sort of shored up in the second half. But they weren't turning their head to get to the ball, and that cost them, a couple big chunk plays throughout the whole game, and a few touchdowns as well.
I will give the defense credit. After the first 2 touchdowns, they definitely shored it all up. They weren't allowing Boston College to go on big drives. They were pretty much able to determine the tempo in the second half for the most part. And the last 2 touchdowns in the first half were not the defensive fault. It was actually the fault of Ryan Willis, who fumbled, and Hezekiah Grimsley, who also fumbled on the punt return.
Yeah.
Which set Boston College up inside the 25 both times and set them up for easy touchdowns. Both
Absolutely.
times that were very demoralizing at the end of the first half. But I mentioned Ryan Willis, and I think we should talk mainly about him, since the worst performance of the day wasn't on the defensive side. Even though we allowed them to get 400 total yards, I think, 275 passing, 157 rushing. So that equals to 250 plus 150, 400, plus another 30 or so, close to 450. Willis was terrible. And I mean, it's the same shit that we were talking about last year. The superhero mentality. I'm going to do everything. I have to do everything. The bad decision making. He made so many bad decisions in this game where, yes, he would throw the ball out of bounds, but the decisions were compounded by the fact that they were in the worst parts of the game to make the mistake. He threw a pick in the end zone at the end of the first half, which would have gotten us into the first half 28-21 instead of 28-14.
Absolutely.
And then he threw another one at the beginning of the third quarter when we were driving down, pick in the red zone. It's come on, dude. He just never seemed to get... He never just seemed to be calm and collected. He always seemed like he was trying too much. He was tense. He was anxious. He's just we're building this drive. We're building this drive. We're going down the field. Don't fuck up. Don't fuck up. And what does he do? Fuck up.
Yeah, it's... The way I look at it is what makes Ryan Willis a good quarterback is what also makes him a bad quarterback. And that's his propensity to want to make the big play. And he wants to have the ball in his hands. He wants to be the one to win or lose the game. And that's a good mentality to have, right? You need to have that, I think, if you want to be an elite quarterback in college and in the NFL. Unfortunately for Ryan Willis, the talent just isn't there for him. And that's not to say he doesn't have any redeeming qualities. The guy can throw the ball.
Yeah, he has a great arm.
He made some throws in this game that were very, very impressive. There were some 3rd and longs that he converted that were very impressive. Yeah. And, taking the ball into his own hands and making that, diving reach towards the end of the game to convert that, like, fourth down that he did it. Yeah. He did it by millimeters, literally millimeters. And so I want to give him credit where credit is due. The guy clearly plays with heart. I will not say that he does not play with emotion. He doesn't play with enthusiasm. He clearly wants to play the game. I think what he needs to do in order to be a successful quarterback in this system is to, one, not only trust the guys around him and trust, the receiving core, the running backs, they're going to be there for him as well, but also slow the game down for yourself. I think a lot of times, like you were saying, he was anxious getting the ball. When the ball was going downfield, he kind of got a little bit like, we got to make a play now. We got to make a play now. This is where I have to do something spectacular in order to, change the momentum. Just trust the system. Trust the guys around you. Trust yourself to make the right reads. Don't do anything that you don't think you would normally do just because you feel like you have to make a big play. And then go from there. And that's really what he has to change in his mentality. Now, if he does that, will he be an elite quarterback? No, I don't think so. He just doesn't have the talent to do that. But do I think he can be a serviceable quarterback or even maybe a good quarterback? Who knows? I don't know. This is all hypothetical, so it's kind of hard to say what Ryan Willis's ceiling is.
Yeah, and back to your point about trusting the players around you. We have this new freshman talent that he's been talked up called Keyshawn King. He didn't get enough carries. I didn't see him enough in the game, and it didn't seem like we were running a lot of good and well-designed run plays. He only got 10 carries for 33 yards.
Yeah.
And we also have Deshaun McCleese there, so he comes in and out. Holston actually has to get surgery on his right knee. He just got surgery done in Roanoke, which blows. He was a real good addition to the team. But if you look at the stats, the guy with the most carries in this game was Ryan Willis. He threw 47 passes and carried the ball 13 times.
60.
So 60 plays. It was all him. The other, 30 plays were the running back, and that was it. So he's calling his number way too often.
And I don't even know if that's entirely on him. There are some times where he makes the decision to scramble and, give up on the play just to try and get a few yards, which I really dislike. I feel like you got to keep your eyes downfield. The offensive line that we have is not horrible.
They're average.
They're fine, yeah. And they're doing better this year than I feel like they did last year. Just sort of, playing together a little bit more, sort of building that cohesiveness. But yeah, and it's also a product of playing from behind as well. When you're down a lot early, you're going to end up throwing a lot of passes. That's why there was 47 passes thrown. You can't get a run game going when you're down 2-3 touchdowns early in a game.
And then you also compound that by throwing picks too.
Yeah.
So you're giving up on possessions that, you have gotten a lot of yards, but then you're just making the mistakes worse for yourself, and now you're just like, oh my God, I have to throw. We have less time. Just can't screw up. Oh my God, let's try and get something done.
Yeah.
And it was just bad all around. The play calling was pretty atrocious too. I'm not leaving Justin Fuente out of this either, because we brought him in because he was supposedly an offensive guru, somebody who coached Paxton Lynch to the pros, even though Paxton Lynch is a bust. But still, he definitely knows some stuff of how to groom quarterbacks. He had some success with Gerard Evans.
Absolutely.
It looked like we were sort of getting there with Josh Jackson, although it did look like he plateaued a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, if you're Fuente, why do you play Willis? He's a senior. He's only been in your system for 2 years. He was at Kansas for his other 2 years.
Yeah.
Why don't you give the starting position to Hendon Hooker or Quincy Patterson?
Yeah, I think it's an issue of Ryan Willis is a known commodity, and he's all right. Like, he's not a bad quarter. Cracking open another cold one.
It's a Coke. It's not Yingling.
Oh, okay.
I don't want Coke sponsoring us. They're too big.
Yeah. Big soft drink. Unlike Yingling, a nice microbrewery.
Yeah. The oldest microbrewery in the world.
Yeah.
Or in America.
In the world. But yeah, I think the idea here that Fuente is going with is he wants a pocket passer. Ryan Willis is that. And at the end of the day, we don't know what goes on in practice. We don't know how these other guys look. And you'd hope that if Fuente saw something in these guys, he would play them, right?
I'd hope so. I mean, there's a reason why we picked them, or why we recruited them. We didn't recruit Willis. I mean, he just came here. I mean, I guess we did sort of recruit him after his sophomore year at Kansas. But I think it also is the mentality that he has, too, because I just don't think Willis is tough enough mentally to lead an ACC team. Because at Kansas, he was the most hit and sacked quarterback in his sophomore year, which was, I think, 2 years ago. So he definitely probably is worried all the time, just like, am I going to get hit? Am I going to get hit? I have to do something. I have to do something. My team sucks, which Kansas does suck. But his mental state doesn't go well with the team, and it's not helping us, and it definitely didn't help us last season.
I actually kind of disagree with that because, I mean, Ryan Willis himself said, and I quote, "Scared money don't make money." I don't think he's scared. I honestly think he's so
do you
not
think
scared.
He's stupid?
I think he's maybe has a little bit of ignorance about like the state of his own talent and the state of this own team, but that's actually a good thing because we don't want a team of people that know they're bad and know they're probably going to go out and lose games and they're playing crap teams because they are also a crap team. I honestly think this is a fake it till you make it situation. These guys, I think for Ryan Willis, he thinks he's a world beater. I really think he thinks he can go out there and win games for Virginia Tech. And I think if he has that mentality, there's a chance he can do that.
All right. Well, final takeaways from this. 5 turnovers. You can't win a game. 4 of them came from Ryan Willis. Virginia Tech loses a game. So we're now 0-1. We're 0-1 in ACC play. We also lost to our rival as well. So that definitely looks great on our part. We have ODU coming up. We'll talk about that later at the end of the show because we definitely have stuff to talk about that and to unpack. But moving on, the second game. Oh, also we both picked Virginia Tech, so we were both wrong about
0-1.
So 0-1 for both of us for the first week of Pick'em, or exhibition Pick'em. This wasn't real. Second game, we're only going to touch on this a little bit. Duke versus Alabama. Chick-fil-A kickoff game of the week. Was an absolutely terrible matchup. I mean, Alabama.
It started off okay.
What, as in like
0-0.
0-0 at the end of the
close
first
game.
quarter? Yeah, for 15 minutes it was close.
Yeah, not too bad.
And then halftime it was like 14-3.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the game it was 42-3.
Yeah, not very close by the end.
Yeah, Bama just totally dominated. Tagovailoa 336 yards, 4 touchdowns. Jerry Jeudy, the projected first pick of the first round in this upcoming NFL draft. 10 receptions, 137 yards, and a touchdown as Alabama rolls on. The number 2 team in the nation beats one of the weakest ACC opponents, and without their legendary quarterback, Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones.
So, we both got that right.
Yeah.
We both picked Alabama.
Very good.
Be an
good on
idiot
us.
to pick Duke, so we're both 1-1 now.
Heck yeah.
So, but now the game of the week.
This was absolutely the best game that was played the entire week of college football.
So walk me through. This is obviously the number 11 Oregon Ducks taking on the number 16 Auburn Tigers, and I think the Advocare kickoff or something.
It was Advocare or something like that.
Played down
this is
in
a
Texas,
great game. It started off looking like it was going to be a snooze fest. Oregon really had control of the game for the entirety of the first half and for a lot of the third quarter. The biggest thing that we saw from Oregon was missed opportunities, right? At the beginning of the game, Oregon, there's a drop pass in the end zone at the 2-yard line.
This is, I think, their second or third drive of the game.
Something like that. And then a missed chip shot field goal from like 27 yards out. So you're looking at losing 7 points there. And then also Oregon had a fantastic punt return down to inside the 10-yard line. And then the ball was fumbled. And they return it all the way to Auburn's red zone. So that's a huge swing right there.
However, Auburn couldn't fully convert on that. They only scored 3 points.
Yeah, they didn't score a touchdown. They were only able to put up 3 points. But still, you're looking at a swing there.
14 points or 17 points, really. I mean, because it could have been 28-0.
It could have been 35.
Oh yeah,
because they were up 21.
35-0. Yeah, when you. Oh yeah.
But you still look at that as an Oregon fan. You say, okay, we made those mistakes. Whatever. We've been playing very good defense. Nix has looked very bad. We've been getting to him consistently. He hasn't been throwing the ball too well. A lot of errant passes coming out of Nix.
He was rolling out a lot and throwing the ball away a bunch, which is respectable. He wasn't taking a whole lot of sacks.
Yeah, he was just under pressure. Yeah. It was under duress. The offense was not comfortable. It was not clicking. They weren't able to sustain drives down the field.
Only completed 13 passes out of 31 attempts.
And a lot of those were towards the very end of the game. That last drive, which I'll get to, break down that a little bit. And he looked really good in that drive. But other than that, pretty rough game for Nix. And it looked like Oregon was going to sort of take this one pretty handily. They were the higher ranked team, but they were actually projected to lose the game, if I recall correctly.
Vegas had them losing, yeah. The line was, I think, 4.5 Oregon or 2.5 Oregon.
Yeah, something like that. So, maybe Oregon feel a little bit disrespected. They come out strong. But then they let Auburn score on just a lapse by Oregon. They don't guard a wide receiver in the red zone, leads to an Auburn score, and now all of a sudden we got a game, and then they score again, and it's a 1-point game, and now we're in the fourth quarter, and Oregon's looking a little shook.
Yep,
looking a little scared.
Justin Herbert, the top rated prospect that Oregon got at quarterback, had made definitely a lot of good throws in the first half, but was not able to really get it together, and I think momentum was on Auburn's side at this point. So, as you said, they looked very, very shook, and I think that affected his play going into the second half, especially the fourth quarter.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So with 5:30 left in the game, Oregon goes for it on 4th down
and 1.
No.
Yeah, 4th and 1.
I think you said and 1 as in they converted it. Yeah, 4th and 1, and they're unable to convert. Auburn gets the ball back, but Auburn still can't convert. They go 3 and out. So you're thinking at this point, Oregon had a chance. Oh, do you like those freaking Coke sounds?
Oh yeah,
of the pouring. That's some ASMR for y'all, you robots out there.
Yeah, I don't think they know what ASMR is, but
that's okay. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So at this point, you're thinking they got this one locked up. All they gotta do Auburn still has all 3 of their timeouts, but you convert 1 first down, it's gonna be real tough for Auburn to score. And they can't do it. They can't get a first down. First pass was a little out route or a little curl, I believe. And that'd only gain like a few yards, and then they take a sack on 2nd down, 3rd down. They can't convert on I think it was like a 3rd and 12.
And obviously, long 3rd down.
Yeah, it is a little tough. And Auburn goes down the field, and they get to a 4th down, and Nix pulls a Ryan Willis, dives for the first down, gets it a little bit more comfortably than Ryan Willis did. And they keep the drive alive. That was a great play by Nix.
Great play, yeah. I mean, their field goal kicker was actually a pretty good field goal kicker.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember watching, and they had the target line around like a 35, which would be like a 52-yarder.
That's long for college.
And they kept going down. They were eventually like at the 25-yard line, so well within range. And tell us how it ended.
They take a shot downfield. It's a ballsy call by Auburn. Who's Auburn's head coach?
Gus Malzahn.
Great call by him. Well, be a different story if they threw a pick or something. But the fact that they scored a touchdown here, great call. It's more or less just a jump ball. I think the ball was actually underthrown by Nix, but
it was very underthrown.
But what's his name goes up and gets it.
One of the receivers, I think it was Williams. Yeah.
Yeah, Williams goes up and gets it, and what a catch! And the emotion afterwards. I mean, they've been fighting all second half to get in this game, and the culmination of scoring on a touchdown with like 9 seconds to go. He spikes the ball, actually gets a freaking unsportsmanlike, which is stupid. Yeah, it's so dumb. Like, they're kids. Let them have fun. Like, Jesus Christ. Like,
no fun league.
It's
no fun league.
Yeah, even the no fun league lets you spike the ball. Like, it's not disrespectful. Like, if I was on the other team and a dude spiked the ball after scoring a clutch touchdown like that, I wouldn't feel like disrespected.
Yeah, you would feel respected. Actually, no, you wouldn't. You'd just feel embarrassed.
Yeah, I would be mad at myself. I wouldn't be mad at that other dude. Yeah. But anyways, a little bit besides the point. Oregon actually managed to get a pretty good kickoff return on the squib. And they got it at like the 35. So
so with 3 seconds left, yeah.
Yeah, and they throw it, and Herbert like throws it out of bounds by like 10 yards. It would have been amazing though if he actually converted this thing.
Yeah, I was actually surprised that I don't like the squib. I hate the squib. Why don't you just kick it out of the back of the end zone?
Yeah, I think in that, well, one, you have to have a kicker that can reliably kick it out the back of the end zone, because even if you kick it into the end zone, the guy's going to return it. I mean, I feel like there's no point in taking it at the 25 because it's just going to be a Hail Mary no matter where it is.
Well, they had 9 seconds left, so they could probably get like 1 or 2, or like at least 2 plays then, I think.
Maybe. I mean, it's real tough when you're throwing it like that far down the field. It's not like a run play where it's only going to take 3 seconds. 9 seconds, it would be very close. So I understand the squib there. You want to drain the clock, force them into maybe getting 1 play. And when it's done right, I mean, in the NFL, you never see a squib return past the 50-yard line because guys don't miss tackles and they know their assignment.
Unless your name's Kenyon Drake.
That wasn't a squib, though. And also, wait, that wasn't a kickoff return, was it? Or was it?
I think it was a kickoff return.
Oh, maybe you didn't squib it. I can't remember.
No, it wasn't. Patriots kicked off, and that was a pass.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Anyways, we don't need to talk about that.
I think we do. But
past is in the past. Dolphins are rebuilding. Patriots are Super Bowl champions. So I guess who's the real winner? But yeah, that's really all I got to say about the Oregon-Auburn game. I know I trusted my Tigers.
Your Tigers?
My Tigers.
You're saying it such like a northerner, too. They say Tigers.
Tiger.
War Eagle. It's the dumbest school. They're the Tigers, which is generic as hell. And then their chant is War Eagle. Like, the 2 totally different animals.
Maybe it's a tiger dressed up as an eagle.
I just think it's dumb. So, I mean, I went with, my gut. I picked the Oregon Ducks because, they have a cool mascot.
Ducks. But I mean, it's not generic. I'll give them that.
I did realize now that tigers do eat ducks.
Oh, yeah.
So, Raymond wins the exhibition.
2-1.
2-1. I'm
John's
1-2. But that doesn't matter because that was an exhibition we had.
Bullshit.
No, you said we can ask the viewers. The viewers and listeners can tell us, like, yeah, we said last week it was an exhibition.
All right. Whatever.
Yeah. But anyway, let's get into our next segment. That we're talking about the NFL. We're talking about the final week of preseason first because
we went to a game.
We went to a preseason game. It was our first NFL game, and we didn't pay out the door prices for anything.
No.
Tickets were $12 each, or was it $12?
Yeah,
both?
Something like that. No, it was $12 each. Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Really cheap.
Nosebleeds.
Yeah, nosebleeds and all, but hey, it was all right. And the lights and stuff were...
Yeah, the whole time, just right above. It's like... The whole game, but it was okay.
It was all right, yeah. Unfortunately, my Steelers lost.
No, yeah. They were winning when we left. We left after the third quarter because we had to drive home that night. We were really doing this on the cheap. We had Taco Bell on the way home. We didn't buy anything in the freaking stadium, even though I was dying of thirst. I was like, no, I will not give them $10 for water.
Even though the Panthers owner is nice, not like Dan Snyder.
Yeah. Dan Snyder's an asshole, and Panthers owner is a cool guy. They did have a cool thing every first down. They would go, it's a first down.
No.
Oh,
so the announcer would go, it's a Carolina Panthers, and then the stadium would go,
first down. And then it would go, row! And I did that every single time, and I'm pretty sure the people next to me wanted to kill me.
Because they were Steelers fans.
Yeah.
And I don't think that they were liking anything that you were saying.
Yeah, I was... Well, the thing is, I wasn't really being a Carolina fan. I was being both. Like, I was just rooting for, like... I was rooting for shit to happen, because I didn't really care. Like, I'm not a fan of either of the teams. I mean, I like the Steelers well enough, but, like, you know... I don't really care that much about either team.
That's fair. I mean, I have nothing against the Panthers either. I'm happy that they won. We got to see Mason Rudolph play a little bit after Josh Dobbs.
Very good.
Rudolph looked amazing. Granted, he was going up against second and third string guys.
Maybe not. He was probably going up against like fourth stringers or guys that weren't even going to make the team. But still, he exhibited the elements of a guy that will be a solid backup, if not a starter in this league at some point in his career.
Stephanie. And it looks like he has a lot of great chemistry with James Washington, the fellow Oklahoma State wideout. And he recently Steelers just announced that he won the backup job to Ben Roethlisberger over Josh Dobbs.
Well deserved.
Yes, definitely well deserved. And we have a Virginia Tech Hokie update in the pros. Joey Sly,
our man,
our favorite player from sophomore year.
Oh, we love that man. Every time we come out to kick,
just be like, Joey, I love you. Come home with me. No, we never say that.
No, of course not. He knocked in a 58-yarder, and this is after getting a 40-yarder blocked. He comes out here, and it looked like it would have been good from 65. This man could have set the record if he wanted to. Just took a quick little step-back jumper instead of just hitting him from 58, just like been like, hey, move it back a little bit. This ball was boomed right down the center.
Accurate as yeah, right down the middle. I was really impressed. Great to see another famous Hokie kicker. Because, fun fact, Shane Graham, kicker from the Saints and from other teams and stuff on the pros, was on the 1999-2000 season team that went to the national championship.
Very impressive.
Kicked the game winner in the Miracle in Morgantown.
Everyone knows that Virginia Tech is a school that just churns out kickers. Mm-hmm. That's what we do. But yeah, it was a good experience. I really liked my first NFL game. Obviously, it wasn't even close to what a normal NFL game is going to be like. But Bank of America Stadium, I would rate it an 8 out of 10. I mean, I didn't get any of the food, so I can't really speak to the quality of it. But they weren't egregious prices. They were stadium prices, but still.
They would still screw you over. And I think Atlanta's prices are lower.
Atlanta is one of the front runners in sort of NFL or even like pro sports generally with that low pricing. And there's sort of trying to champion like change in that regard. I don't know. I mean, it's not going to happen in every market.
Especially not Washington.
Yeah, definitely not DC. Charlotte's, they're well enough off there that I feel like you won't see the prices come down too much. But the seats were very comfortable. They were all blue. They were like made out of like plastic. Very new stadium, it felt like. I don't know when that stadium was built.
They were an expansion team back in the mid-90s.
Yeah, I believe they're celebrating their 25th year. So I'm assuming it's the same stadium as
I would think so.
Yeah, so not a pretty new stadium as far as stadiums are concerned. It was really nice, very nice layout. The view was nice. It was in a pretty convenient area. We did park a little far away to try and get cheaper parking prices, but even that, the walk was not bad. It was like 15 minutes.
Yeah, way better than Landover.
Yeah, it's easy to get in and out. Seemed like a lot of stuff to do outside of just the game. And even though we were in the nosebleeds, I mean, the seating was fine. Like the viewing was good enough.
Mm-hmm. I also had a nice view of the downtown skyscrapers and stuff.
Oh yeah,
Bank of America Tower.
you can see the tower from our seats. And we were in the shade. We made a good call getting seats in the shade.
Yep.
But yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say on the old Charlotte expedition.
Yep, that was a pretty good expedition. We do have some other news with Zeke.
Oh yeah.
This is breaking news. Adam Schefter here. Even though I like to pretend that I'm other people.
Yeah.
But yeah, Zeke on his way to Dallas to hopefully sign a contract extension. I know somebody has a lot of hope riding on this.
Yes, I did draft Zeke. You invited me to your family's fantasy league.
Mm-hmm.
So 6 people. I was drafting last, and I decided to take a flyer on Zeke. Who knows? I mean, really considering if he does play all 16 games, he's probably. I mean, maybe you look at Kamara and Barkley, maybe beating them out, since our league is PPR. But I mean, he's a top 3, if not top 2 running back in this league in terms of fantasy production. And it's looking like, I think both sides are looking to come to an agreement. It's just kind of if the price is right, the guaranteed money is right. There's been rumors he's looking at a 6-year, $90 million deal. So he's got 2 more years on his contract right now. One of them is an option. So if he signs this extension, that 1 year will be dropped off. I believe this is the 5th year of his contract, so that'll be dropped off. And then after this year, then the 6 years will take effect. So he's going to be with the Cowboys for a really long time if this is the deal that gets signed. Do you see that as a good or a bad thing? I mean, it's a pretty good price for a running back. He's not getting big bucks like some of these other positions.
I think it's good for him. Because, as we know, NFL owners view the team as assets.
Yep.
Very depreciable asset. They depreciate very, very quickly compared to other positions.
Especially a workhorse like Elliott, who's played, who gets 90% of the games. He takes 80% of the snaps a game. Or he
gets 25 carries at least.
Yeah.
Usually.
Very old school.
Dak Prescott a whole lot. I mean, he's an average quarterback, but, I mean, he's got a ways to go.
Before he can carry a
team. So, $90 million in 6 years, that's pretty good. I mean, hell, I'd take it. Just think.
Anyone would take it.
Pre-tax, that's 90 McChickens. Or 90 million McChickens.
Yeah, way more than 90.
Yeah, jeez.
How many McChickens do you think you could eat in a year?
I would say, if I eat 2 a day, I could probably push it to 3 a day. So 3 times. I could do over 1,000.
You think you could do over 1,000?
I think I could do over 1,000 if I had one breakfast, lunch, dinner.
That's insane.
It's not insane.
That is insane.
It's very doable.
I know you could do it, but that's still insane.
I wonder how many jars of mayonnaise that would be. And how many chickens I'd have to kill.
Oh my god.
Probably 0.
Yeah, they don't make it at chicken meat. Yeah, probably a lot of raccoons you murdered there.
Hey, not me. The people on the road just run
Mr. McDonald, as he runs around in his fucking white van picking up a roadkill to put in the McChickens.
No, is this a possum? Oh.
We can sell
2
this
days
for $1.
old. This is good.
F- tier meat.
Take the bones out of it first.
We'll be good to him for this one.
Hey, this way we can use that for our McNuggets.
Oh God.
That's the cookies and that's the cookie part and the cookies.
No, please. I just
ruined McDonald's. Hey, McDonald's.
I love
McDonald's.
This man lives at McDonald's pretty much.
I love McDonald's. We'll also be writing a corporate invitation letter to you to come out, support us, support our channel. We love you. We love Roadkill too. I mean, it would just be a great pairing, I think.
I think so too.
So, McDonald's, in order to show how great we are, let's do our favorite segment of the show.
Who fouled out?
Yeah, that's right, Raymond. All right, who do you got, Raymond? This is this is where we go into depth about who each we think deserves to get fouled out this week. Usually we have different people. This week, we have the same person. So
what are you talking about? This was not planned at all. We definitely don't talk about it beforehand. So we're going to say it on 3. We're going to say who fouled out. So I'm going to count it down. Or count it up. Fuck. I'm going to say on 3, say it. Okay. So I'm going to go 1, 2, Ryan Willis. All right.
We didn't say 3.
Shut up.
All right. But yeah, Ryan Willis definitely deserves to be fouled out here. Total of 4 turnovers, 3 picks, fumble. 47 passes and you couldn't get the job done. 13 carries as well. I think the ball's in his hands way too much, and I think he should be giving it up to Kayshawn King or Deshaun Cleese. Fuente has to notice this and be like, hey, you have to do better. You have to know your limits, and you have to play within them. All right? We're not asking you to do everything. It's everybody's responsibility that goes into getting that done.
I mean, yeah, Fuente, like, he's known as a quarterback guru. And I think I'm a little higher. Like, I got no love for Willis right now. Like, I'm going to be honest. Like, I'm not trying to sugarcoat it or anything. But I feel like I'm still a little higher on Willis than you are. I feel like there is talent there. And if Fuente is this quote-unquote quarterback guru that he was hired to be, he should be able to get the best out of Ryan Willis. And right now, I really don't think we're seeing it. I mean, or maybe this is. Maybe Ryan Willis is just bad. But I don't think so. I think he has a chance to at least be serviceable and can give us a chance to win the game. He doesn't have to do it. But I don't know. The way he's playing right now, he's losing us games.
Yep. He's lost us more games than he's won us. But anyway, let's round this episode out with our next favorite segment, 3 big questions. So I'll ask, or do you want to ask me the first one?
Yeah,
I want to
got
talk,
you.
so you ask me the first one.
All right. We've been talking about Virginia Tech a lot. And we're going to keep talking about Virginia Tech because, first game of the season. We talk a lot about Virginia Tech on this podcast.
Our robot listeners love it.
Yeah.
So.
We're not officially a Virginia Tech podcast, but I would say that is a primary demographic of the people that we are trying to reach.
We're trying to be a Yingling podcast.
Yeah. Really, at the end of the day, we're trying to transition this podcast into talking about exclusively Yingling for 1 hour every week. But until we get to that point, we'll talk about Virginia Tech. And I got a question. Tragic loss last year against ODU. Virginia Tech, unspeakable, is one of those losses where you look and you say, wow, they really just did that. Now, Virginia Tech paid ODU a lot of money to come back to Lane Stadium so we can try and get some revenge. How do you think Virginia Tech overcomes this last year's loss?
First of all, you don't have your quarterback get injured, which is what happened last game. Second of all, you have the defense actually tackle and cover people, which I think shouldn't be a problem this year. However, 2 of our receivers, remember, that went into the transfer portal?
Yeah.
Chris Cunningham, actually a tight end, and Eric Kuma are now playing for ODU, and ODU announced that they are the captains for this game.
Wow.
Just to be total douchebags.
Why would they go to that team, though?
I don't know.
Like, I understand leaving Virginia Tech for, like, a better team, but ODU can't be better. There's no way.
They suck. I mean, we were one of their only, 3 wins last year, or 4 wins?
Very surprising.
It's sad, but it mainly, thankfully, the pressure's not on Willis. The pressure's on the defense to actually step up and cover people this year. Mm-hmm. Because we got embarrassed last year, especially on the defensive side of the ball. So I think the defense is the answer here. Bud Foster definitely doesn't want to go out losing twice in a row to Old Dominion. But then again, Willis also has to keep the turnovers, under wraps this time, and be thoughtful and decisive with the ball.
Yeah, I would agree with that statement. Yeah, I mean, just like ODU, they're just not that good of a team, are they? They're just not very good.
No, they suck.
And I'm still worried. I'm still worried we might lose.
It's a home game this year, too.
Yeah, I mean, one thing, fans, we better be out there. I know I'm putting my name in the lottery to go see this game.
I put my name in.
We better get real loud. Because I don't want to see it. If we go down early 7-0, I don't want to see any hanging heads. I don't want to be like, oh, no, not again. We got to stay loud. We got to support this team. Because at the end of the day, they're our team, whether we like it or not. And they're going to respond to our energy. So we got to be out there supporting them, no matter what the score is. And hopefully, we can just waffle stomp these guys into the ground.
I hope so. I like to see them look like waffles. So, second question. What does Fuente have to do to instill confidence in the team, in the alumni, in the athletic board of directors, to instill confidence that he is the future for the program.
Like, I mean, we've kind of been talking about this for the whole podcast, and it comes down to, well, obviously winning games will help, right? I mean, but that's not really any analysis. If they win games, Fuente will stay the coach. But to do that, he has to look at Ryan Willis. He has to make Ryan Willis the best quarterback that he can be. If Ryan Willis isn't playing the best football that the people around him believe he can, that's going to go on Fuente. And if that's what you're brought in to do, to make an offense click, and you're not doing that, what good are you? What good are you to keep around? Especially with Bud Foster retiring, we're not going to have that, great defensive coordinator next year. Who knows who we're going to bring in, what we're going to do in order to at least keep the defense serviceable. I mean, who knows where our defense would be without Bud Foster at the helm. So yeah, it starts with Willis. I think also, just decision-making wise, you got to make good decisions late in the game. And I feel like there's a lot of times the play calls that he makes, I just don't agree with. I mean, but at the end of the day, that's kind of a staple of Virginia Tech football, is those head-scratching play calls on, like, offense, where you're like, why would you call that? I mean, even with Frank Beamer, right?
Yeah.
Like, Frank Beamer, legendary college coach. All-time great. And there's still times where you'd watch a Virginia Tech game, and you'd be like, really, that's what you drew up there? That's really what you drew up?
Or hey, at least it's better than the Redskins' mode of offense, which is run, incomplete pass, punt.
Yeah, the Virginia Tech Hokies have taken a little bit of a lesson from Redskins. They're kind of doing that a little too much for my liking.
Except it's incomplete pass, incomplete pass, incomplete pass, punt.
Yeah.
Or incomplete pass, sack, punt.
Yeah, or incomplete pass, halfback draw, punt.
Oh my God, yeah.
But yeah, it's the connection between Fuente and Willis, the quarterback and the head coach. There needs to be some chemistry there. There needs to be some results from that chemistry, and we need to see those results impact winning football.
Yeah.
And I think if you see those three dots connect, you'll see Fuente sign an extension to remain with the team longer. But yeah, I mean, that's, I think, what it comes down to.
All right. Finally, our last question, which is actually our new Lucky Season 2 Pick'em. And this is the first official.
Yeah, because John lost the first one.
No, I did not. We made it clear last week that Pick'em was not going to be official until this week. So, first game is actually game of the week in college football. LSU Tigers, the number 6 LSU Tigers, taking on the number 9 Texas Longhorns. Raymond, who do you got in that game?
I went with the underdogs, or the lower seeded team in Auburn last week, and I think I'm gonna stick with it. I'm gonna go with Texas for this game. They're actually underdogs in this game. Vegas did not pick them to win. I'm gonna stick with them. I like their quarterback, Elmhurst, or however you pronounce it, I believe.
Erlinger.
Oh,
Erlinger, yeah. Sam
that guy.
Erlinger.
I like that guy. I've watched some of his highlights. He's throws some dots. He throws some dots. Not gonna lie.
Dots, yeah.
But that's pretty much the only reason. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know enough about the teams to make too much of a coherent decision. They both only played one game, and it was kind of against garbage competition.
Yeah, LSU beat Georgia Southern, and Texas beat Louisiana Tech.
Yeah. So it was like kind of one of those games where you're like, I don't know if they're actually good, or it's probably just because they're playing crap teams. I think LSU probably has more talent, but I like my Texas Longhorns.
Which is why I'm going with LSU, the number 6 LSU ranked Tigers.
It's 6 versus 9.
Yeah, I know.
That's
I was
69.
About to make a joke.
Get it?
And you stole it away from me. So funny.
Mark.
But I think Joe Burrows, this is his year to maybe at least try and get over the hump. I don't think that they'll beat Alabama. But LSU does perform well against non-SEC schools. So I think that their defense will just be suffocating Texas and their offense. So I'm taking LSU. You're taking Texas.
All right.
Next game.
This is
the big one. This is the one that matters.
Steelers versus Pats.
The Week 1 Sunday night prime time game.
I mean, does it even need to be said?
Big Ben going into Gillette Stadium, a hostile crowd of only 30,000 people because tickets are so expensive.
Shut the fuck up.
Who wins? Raymond.
I mean,
you decide.
Do we need to say it? I think we all know where we're leaning on this one.
I think mum's
Should
the
we
word.
say it, though?
Should we? Mum's the word. You know, if we all know what it is, I think we should be all good.
Okay. Sounds good. Moving on.
Steelers are winning that one.
Nope.
Let's go.
Fuck
Steeler
you,
Nation.
Patriots. You already know.
All right, fine. I'm just saying, James Conner, Juju Smith-Schuster, gonna run all over you.
You ever heard of a young man? He's not very known. He's picked in the 6th round, 199th actually overall. I can't even remember his name. He's a backup for Drew Bledsoe. What's his name? It's like Thomas Edward Brady or something.
Sounds really white.
Yeah, he's kind of like chubby. I don't think he's gonna be anything.
Didn't
but
he run his 40 in khakis?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, this guy probably not going to turn out to be much, but he's starting the game for the New England Patriots. So we'll see how that goes. You know, Ben Roethlisberger, pretty good quarterback, but Tom Brady hasn't raped anyone yet, so I give him the edge in that one.
All right, assholes. Moving on to the final game, which is actually a series. Braves versus Nats, going to be starting on this Thursday or Friday and ending on Sunday. Who do you got? This is a big series for playoff contention.
A lot of playoff implications here. One, obviously, you're looking at the Nats trying to keep that wild card lead extended right now. You know, they're playing a series against the Mets right now. They lost the first game to Syndergaard. Tonight's DeGrom Scherzer. They're down 1 run. It's 5-4 going into the 8th. And they need to keep that wild card lead big. And, you know, there is still some hopes of maybe winning the NL East. I mean, it's a long shot, 6.5 games out with only a month left to play. But you never know. They got 7 games against the Braves. So in theory, if they were to sweep them, they win the division, or at least have a lead on the division. So both these teams playing very well right now. It's a 4-game series, so technically there can be a tie. Technically, we could both be wrong, but I'm gonna
unless we say tie.
So we're gonna leave that option open.
All right.
Are we gonna be allowed to say tie?
We're gonna be allowed to say. So it can be 4-0, it can be 3-1, it can be 2-2, it can be 1-3, and it can be 0-4.
Okay, but I don't think it's fair that we should have to say 3-1.
Oh, and so then if it's win, tie, or
yeah, just say win, tie, or lose. That's too much.
All right, I get it. I think the Braves will win the series.
You give it to the Braves?
I give it to the Braves.
All right. I'm going with a 2-2 split.
Oh, okay. Interesting. I hate that pick, but all right.
I think Strasburg and Scherzer win those 2 games. Like the 2 games they pitched, Strauss is pitching.
Well, Strasburg definitely won't win. I mean, the bullpen will probably blow whatever.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, never mind. And then Scherzer is pitching the last game, so I think they win the first and the last. And then Braves take the second and the third. Corbin is going up against. Oh God, who is he going up against? I should know this.
You should know it. You're a baseball head. You're our baseball guru.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Keuchel.
Ooh, Dallas Keuchel, who's only 5-5.
Yeah, he's not had a great year, but I still give the edge to Braves on that one. And then Ross, our number 5 guy with Hellickson on the DL or IL, is going up against Teheran, who's very good. So I think Braves will handily win that game. So yeah, I'm going with 2-2 split.
All right, interesting. Well, we'll see about this next week in our next episode, episode 3 of season 2. Thank you all for listening. That's all we got.
Yeah.
We will keep you updated on the Yuengling and potentially McDonald's potential sponsorship.
Absolutely.
We will be sending letters out immediately, first thing tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll definitely keep you in touch with that, and we'll keep you in touch with all sports news, media, and anything else that goes on in the realm of sports.
Yes. See you next week. Sorry about the lateness on this episode.
No, I don't think they care.
They're robots. They don't understand the concept of time. All right. we'll see you guys next week.